Hello, my friends, and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Today I want to talk about what happens when a video game company forgets what the purpose of reviews are. So here we have Take-Two Interactive warns against review bombing, says it can hurt profile. Okay, let's read on. Take-Two Interactive, parent group of Rockstar, which publishes the Grand Theft Auto series, is warning about the effects of review bombing their titles. The publisher said that review bombing campaigns can actually hurt their profits, including, but not limited to, additional advertising and marketing costs and reputational damage. All right. Obtaining and maintaining high ratings of our games on the third-party platforms on which we operate are important as they help drive players to find our games, Take-Two Interactive said in a new SEC filing via GameFile. If the ratings of any of our games decline or if we receive significant negative reviews that result in a decrease in our ratings, our games could be more difficult for players to find or recommend. The publisher added, in addition, we may be subject to negative review campaigns or defamation campaigns intended to harm our ratings. Any such decline may lead to a loss of players and revenues, additional advertising and marketing costs, and reputational harm. Take-Two and other publishers are concerned by the aggressive review bombing campaigns that players and customers initiate, usually in response to a feature that inconvenienced players. This was the case in what happened to Helldivers 2 when it was deemed necessary by Sony to have it only playable with a PlayStation Network account, even with the game's more popular PC version. The previous Grand Theft Auto titles already suffered review bombing campaigns, especially Grand Theft Auto, the Trilogy, the Definitive Edition, where players complained of decreased quality of the game models and game architecture. And this was written by Kuozawa Zoe. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but there they are. They're writer niche gamers. So obviously this was in an SEC filing, so they weren't talking to gamers when they said this. However, they do seem to entirely miss the point, and it really demonstrates quite clearly how detached from reality they are. When people choose to review bomb, they are well aware of the effects that it's going to cause, because said effects are their entire goal. They want to hurt your reputation. They want to hurt your profits. That is the goal. Now, if a bunch of people are coming on and giving you a negative review because of something they don't like, that's not review bombing. That is you making a shit product and people telling you it's a shit product, or you updating your product and fucking something up and people coming on and telling you, hey, yo, you screwed this up. Can you fix it? That's exactly what happened with the Helldivers 2 incident, when people were upset that despite the fact that it had been mentioned in the beginning that a PlayStation account would be needed, most PC players don't want to deal with that. And honestly, I would think that while it is necessary for you to have it on a PlayStation, at some point we got to draw a line. It's like the fact that Gilded went away and now I have to put what I call my community chat on a different service because I'm not signing up for Minecraft. I'm never going to play Minecraft, so I'm not signing up for a Minecraft account because I don't need it. Honestly, I think Gilded should be review bombed. No, not review bombed, but maybe I should find a way to leave a negative review about Gilded. That they conflate review bombing, which would be going on and artificially leaving negative reviews about something you haven't bought, played, or watched, with actual players who have bought their game, played their game, and found issues with their game, is it is a large issue. Of course, at that point, people aren't going to want to recommend your game. I have not played Grand Theft Auto myself, but I have watched the videos of others who have played the Trilogy, the Definitive Edition, and the number of differences between that and the actual games are so blatant. The fact that they fucked so much up is like they basically rolled it back, even though it's supposed to be something better for players. This is not review bombing. This is you reaping the results of what you have sown. This is what happens when people don't like your product. People are not going to just like your product because you made a product. And that's where they are right now. That's where a lot of AAA gaming studios are right now. They think that you, the gamer, are too dumb to understand what you like and don't like. Thus, if you are leaving them negative reviews, then obviously it's not them, it's you. It is your fault. You should know better. You should have played the game the right way, or you should just suck it up because they are the developers and they know what you want and what you need, and thus the slop they give you is what you're going to get. And it's ridiculous. It is not right. This is part of why people are so hard on the don't buy AAA games right now. Just don't, because they don't seem to understand that your money that you are spending on these games is valuable to you. And thus, if they give you a product that you are not happy with, you have the right to tell them. You have the right to warn others that, hey, this thing kind of sucks. Maybe don't buy it. And yes, that's going to cost them more money. But at the same time, they ignore what would cost them less money in the long run, which would be to just make the games that people want and to test them completely as well as they could. Anyway, I do think that sometimes quality assurance on PC gets a little bit of a bad rap because honestly, there are so many factors that go into balancing a game for a PC. There's an infinite configuration of hardware, software, and drivers that could be affecting a game that they can't possibly account for. And so I can understand if there are a couple bug issues in the first couple months of release, but I would imagine that any serious issues get zipped up pretty quick just because it should be a priority to get that fixed since you have the ability to do it. Oh my God, it used to be you bought a video game, even a PC game, and if that sucker had a memory leak, it would leak all over your computer. You wouldn't be able to play the game. It would crash. You'd be fucked. There was no ifs, ands, buts about it. There was no ability to update it. There was no patches. You were just screwed. But unfortunately, they have taken that ability and gone too far the opposite direction with it, where they're releasing what are basically early release games at best and telling people they're done and then charging them for the DLC. Bad things happen when you take your customers for granted. You can't take your customers for granted and expect to continue to make money. Expect to continue to have a business because nobody owes you the money. And if I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times, and goddamn, maybe I'll just make a t-shirt on it that says it. We don't owe you our money. We don't owe you our time. We don't owe you anything. So if you're not going to make what we want, we're not going to buy it because we shouldn't. Because there's so many other games out there that maybe don't look as nice, that maybe don't have as many features, but were made by people who genuinely appreciate the purchase of their game because they love the game and they want nothing more than to see people playing their game. Possibly one of the best gaming experiences I have had, and this will sound like blasphemy, I won't lie. It was a mobile game on my phone called This Is Not a Game. It is hilarious. The puzzles in it are pretty freaking good. Some of them are really damn hard. Very clever. The whole storyline, it is great. Whoever made that little game, bless them. Actually, I could probably look it up right now, but I won't. They worked hard. You could tell they put passion into it, and it was worth it. I loved playing that game. And you can definitely see the difference now. You can see the difference between the games made with love, made with passion, made with the desire to create something new and to give people a piece of media that they'll love. And something that, while it was something people once loved, has basically been propped up as a showboat, as a shell of its former self. The outside is still there. It still looks shiny. It still looks cool. But when you step in, what you're there for isn't there. Dragon Age is an example of this right now. Changing the whole inside workings of it in so many different ways. And people will say, no, they're not really changing it yet. They're kind of changing it. They really kind of are. And You should have the ability to, and then going and telling people that they've changed this isn't review bombing. We know that it will cost you advertising. We know that it will cost you players. We know that it's going to cost you money. That's part of why we do it, because in the end, the only way corporations, businesses learn is if you hurt them. And the only way to really hurt them is to hurt them in the wallet, because your time, your money is far more valuable to you than it is to them. There's so much more you can do with that. And you should. You shouldn't just settle for whatever slop they put out. Not that I'm saying you are. I know it's hard sometimes, especially when you're seeing something that was once something you loved. To break away from that, it's especially difficult to get over those feelings of fear of missing out, that FOMO. I know so many people who get caught in that time and time again. But are you really missing out is the thing. What are you missing out on? You're missing out on a period of time of being miserable because what you're being given isn't worth the money you shelled out, when you could have had a much better experience, possibly for even less money, and given it to someone who really cared. So on the plus side, it seems they're finally getting the idea of what we're trying to tell them, that we are out for their blood because we're tired of being given less than what we deserve, especially in our turn for our money that we all work hard for. For those of you who might be interested, I will be streaming tonight at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. This weekend, we will be doing D&D on Sunday on my Horror Amarada channel. You can see those right up above my head. The stream tonight, however, will be here on my Abysmal Critic channel. We are going to play more Dragon Age Origins. But what do you guys think? Do you think they have a point, or do you think they're just talking to acknowledge the fact of what these negative reviews do? Do you think that's actually going to wake them up to anything? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notifications. If you really liked it, you can feel free to share it around, and I will catch you later.